Increasingly these days I find myself falling into routines quite often, and there are certain types of games I find I can very easily settle into for hours on end day after day, and this is a feeling you yourself may have also experienced. I think there's a lot to be said for some games' ability to really just draw you out of your own head, and this is something I can find very useful when I'm feeling particularly stressed and all I want to do is just while away the hours. Also, games are just good, and it's spectacularly impressive when one manages to be so engrossing you kind of just forget time exists. An excellent example for this I have from my own personal experience is Hearthstone, and other turn-based card games like it, such as Magic the Gathering Arena. In case you aren't familiar with them, these games have you playing an interactive card game against either an AI or an actual opponent. The nature of this type of game means that there's a lot of time spent thinking, planning out your next move. It also means that there will be a significant amount of time spent just waiting, sitting while your opponent takes their move and you contemplate your next. Especially when you consider the battlegrounds game mode that I happen to absolutely love in Hearthstone, which simplifies the process down to planning and acting very quickly, then literally just waiting for a timer to tick down. Then an entirely passive auto-resolved fight happens and you go back to the top. I actually can struggle sometimes with concentration and with committing and applying myself to a game, but I have spent hours sitting there while that bloody clock ticks down in battlegrounds, or playing hand after hand of ranked Hearthstone, be it at the end of a long day to unwind or even just to kill some time over lunch. It's a game I go back to in phases, which I've been doing on and off now for years. The other slightly different example I personally have is Crusader Kings. In this game series you take control of a ruler of some part of the world at some point in history, and through various mechanics of war and intrigue aim to conquer and expand your control. You do this through interacting with the many different systems at your disposal to try and influence the world to progress in your favour, and then sitting back and watching the game world evolve. I couldn't care less for political intrigue drama, and this game isn't really a simulator of that, and it has some pretty entertaining writing which helps carry it towards some really fun emergent scenarios. But this doesn't change the fact that you really just spend the entire game navigating various menus, doing a bit of clicking, and then doing a whole lot of hitting spacebar and looking at a map while a date progresses in the corner, which I have done for ages. And I think that this is an incredible accomplishment, and these games are genuinely very fun and entertaining. The nature of their design allows them to be excellent tools for basically making time disappear. This is because they keep you in a sort of suspended state of engagement through their gameplay. They can slow your thinking pace down while simultaneously providing you with simple, straightforward tasks to complete as you set yourself progressive goals to meet and work towards. Other than being really fun gaming experiences, I find these are essentially the perfect type of game for when I just need to turn off for a bit. They aren't overly intensive, but they still keep your mind active, which lets you focus and to a degree lets you forget your worries and shut the world out as the hours just pass you by. And for games for whom so much of their gameplay involves just waiting, the fact that they are able to keep you engaged for so long and to provide me at least with sort of easing, calming distraction is incredibly impressive. These games I've mentioned are both free to play, by the way, and are in no way hardware intensive, so they're very accessible if you'd like to give them a go and see if they can keep you entranced in their simplicity as they do to me. These are just a couple of examples I wanted to give, but the same can be said of many other games, even to an extent games like Stardew Valley and management sims. If you have a game that gives you a similar experience, please feel free to share them with us in the comments. I think this is a particular aspect of gaming that is very interesting and valuable, especially since it's a phenomenon I never thought would be able to work on me, but it really does. If you try out any of these games because of this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'd also love to hear your thoughts on this video, as any feedback is always a treat. Thank you for watching this video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and feel free to share my videos wherever you want. I'd love for more people to be able to see them. If you did like this video, there are plenty of other ones on the channel you might also enjoy, and you can subscribe if you want to see more from me in future, and you can follow my Twitter if you want updates and random thoughts that I have. For now though, thanks again for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye.